welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll be doing something very interesting, actually not that much for me, but I'll be telling you some of the mistakes that I've done first when I started teaching English, and now that I look back they're just like so bad. And I thought that if you're an ESL teacher now, or if you just want to start teaching English, it's good to know that these are not very good things to do, and these were my mistakes when I started teaching, so I really want you not to repeat them, so that you'll have better classes and in the future you'll not laugh at yourself anymore. So if you're interested, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up and put your notifications on. Don't forget that I'll be posting every Tuesdays and Fridays, and I'll be happy to have you in my channel. So let's get into knowing my mistakes. Okay, so first, before you judge me, I started teaching from a very young age. I actually told you this in like previous videos. I started teaching when I was nearly 15, and you can say that is very young age, but by teaching and teaching I learned how to teach, and by experience I mean. And after that I got my TESOL when I was 18, and that really helped me and changed the way that I was teaching. And I want to tell you some of my mistakes before I got my TESOL, so that you know and you're not doing them anymore. So let's start off. First of all, when I started teaching, I taught mostly kids and teenagers. And after my TESOL, I started teaching adults. So these mistakes that I've actually made are related to teaching kids and teenagers. First in my list, I have long greetings. Now that I'm thinking back, I had really long greetings, and this is not a really good thing. Never have long greetings. We have talked about this, but again, I had long greetings. We went to the class. Whenever that I looked at the time, I understood that, oh my goodness, it's been like 15 minutes that we are only greeting, and we never learned anything, and I never taught them anything in the first 15 minutes. We were just like, oh, how are you? How's your mother? How's your father? How's it going? What happened at school? And this is not good. So have short greetings like, how are you? How's it going? Is everything okay? And then start your lesson. I had lots of worksheets. I'm not saying this is bad, but I used to give students lots of worksheets. Like literally for every grammar, I was like, okay, today we have simple present grammar, and I started searching and actually wasting my time finding lots of worksheets, lots of tests, and I copied them and I printed them out and handed to my learners, and like half of the class time I was teaching them, and the other half they were doing these practices. They were like gap fillings, matchings, and like writing sentences, rewriting the sentences, and doing lots of worksheets. Like giving students worksheet is so good. It means like you care about them and you want them to have more practice, more controlled practice. But we know that for each grammar, literally three control practices are enough. So like one gap filling and one matching and one rewriting the sentences. This is literally enough. Sometimes even two is enough. So giving the students like 3 to 4 pages of worksheet was a nightmare, and I did that, and it's not really good, and I still feel bad about it. Instead of that, I could put them in groups and wanted them to speak together, wanted them to use the grammar and do a freer practice, speaking practice, rather than only writing and control practice. And this is so bad. I just feel so bad about that. So sorry, my previous students. So this is actually related. I had not that much speaking practice with them, although like some sessions I wanted them to stay in front of the class and talk for the class, present something, or like I did role plays, but it was not enough. Right now that I'm thinking, they needed much more freer practice rather than all those worksheets. Well, another problem that I can see right now when I look back is that I never corrected their problems in a correct way. I never knew how to correct my students, and I barely did. I never corrected my students' speaking problems, or I did it on the spot. Like whenever that they had the problem and while they were speaking, I just was like, oh, that's not correct, you have to say this. And this is not a really good way of correcting students, because this will affect their confidence, and from next time they are not that much self-confident to speak up and to speak about a subject. So they think, again, you'll catch them red-handed and you'll say that what their problem was. So this is a very not good way to correct students on the spot. It's good to write their problems and correct it at the end of the class, write them on the board, and do a whole class error correction instead of on the spot an individual. This is a very important thing that I never did in my classes. And right now that I'm doing it, I can see how effective it is and how much learners want to see their errors, and they're really eager to know their errors at the end of the lesson. Another thing, which when I look back, I'm so embarrassed for that, but I did it. And come on, I didn't have that much experience that time, but it's still bad. So I involved myself in literally any subject. So the subject was, which sport do you like? Students told me their favorite sport, and I went on and told them about my favorite sport and what happened and how did I get interested and what did I did and if I have any medals or something, and anything. Just think about any subject, and I was there to speak for them, and that was not good. Actually, they enjoyed knowing about my favorite things and my stories, but the real thing was that it was their time to speak, and it was my time to direct them and help them, because I knew that my English was good. The people who wanted to practice their English was the students, were the students, not me. So be really careful about this one. If you do it in your classes, just stop doing it, because you're wasting students' time. This is not your time to learn. This is your time to help them and direct them as a teacher, and it's their time to speak up. Teaching grammar only by drilling. So I started with the grammar's name on top. I started writing sentences for them on the board and wanted them to copy them in notebook or read them for me, or tell me some more examples if they know any. And we all know that this is not a really good way of teaching grammar. You need to visualize everything. You need to show them pictures, show them videos, set a context, and actually lots and lots more things that we will be talking about in the next videos about how to teach grammar. But for now, it was not good to teach grammar only by writing some sentences on the board, wanting them to read them and drilling and repeating. It was not really good. Something that I did, and I actually believe that it's a good thing, but we need to use it like sometimes, not all the time. And it works better when you group your students. So if you group your students and you want them to compete against each other, this is okay. But individually competing or even group competing is good when you do it sometimes, not every session. I did lots of competitions with my kids and teenage groups back in like 2015-16, which I just started teaching. So that was not really good. Competitions are good. They will encourage students to learn and to compete against each other and see who's the winner. And this is a really good feeling, actually, I know, but not every session. I did it actually every session, and I think that sometimes my students were so competitive and they just wanted to win, and they forgot about how to learn and how to improve themselves. They just wanted to win and just tell the other group to back off and I'm the winner. And we always set a winner and a loser, and this is not really good for students' confidence. But doing competitions is good every now and then, and it will actually make your class more energetic and perfect and good and engaging, but not every session. These were actually all the mistakes that I can remember that I've done during past years of my teaching, and I am not ashamed of them. I'm just saying that like these days, as I know how to really teach, I just feel bad for the learners, but I know that they enjoyed my lessons because we had lots of interesting things too, and lots of engaging and creative activities too. But I just wish that from the beginning I knew these things and these methods, these strategies, and I could give them a much more learner-centered and productive lessons. And I wish you don't do these things in your classes, but if you do, stop them now and study or learn about how to correct them and learn much more about methodology, so that you will never ever do these problems in your classes. Another thing that I want to say before I finish this video is that we had all experiences, good experiences and bad experiences, but never be ashamed of them. They were the time that made you this teacher that you are right now, so I'm really proud of all those years. And the only thing that we can say is that instead, these days, we try not to do those mistakes anymore. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, put your notifications on, give me the thumbs up if it was useful for you, which I think it was actually. You know about my problems, you know that I make mistakes too. I'll see you. Bye bye.